morning out here, Brandon. What are we going to be chasing today?
Well, we're here in Steinhatchee, Florida, and we're going to be chasing big gator trout, and I'm sure there's going to be some big redfish mixed in with them, but this time of year when we get around these full moons, those gator trout will spawn and they'll be full of eggs, so we should be looking for some fish in the 4 to 7 pound class range.
Super. I'm super excited, man. I'm ready to go.
I know, I can't wait. So the tide's still a little low right now, but there's some deeper pockets in here and some trenches where the current's flowing over them, and we're gonna work these pockets for big trout, and as the tide comes up, we'll work over and start fishing the rocks and hopefully find some big trout and reds over there. But right now we're just gonna kind of ease up in here and see if we can pick up a trout or two.
These are the TD Soul rods. These are great rods. You know, we worked with those guys to help develop this rod. You know, I know Brandon had a lot of influence on this rod, and some of the guys down in the Tampa Bay area, but they're great rods, great price point, double locking reel seat on it. It's just a really nice rod.
This week we're fishing with John Kreusch. I kind of had to get on to him at first because we were out there to fish, and he's in the industry of selling and buying and all kinds. He knows every single product like the back of his hand in the fishing industry, and I kind of had to say, hey, we're not talking about product today, we're catching fish. And he kind of settled down and ended up throughout the day catching a few fish, and of course he talked about the product a little bit.
So I know we were out there, and I do sell tackle for a living, but you know, we're out there, we're fishing. Brandon's all into, you know, the fish. Me, myself, I'm kind of looking at the tackle, and you know, he did have those TD Soul rods on the boat. Tried to tell him they make a difference. He's telling me I'm trying to sell product. I don't know what, I don't want to tell him.
Good.
You're going for that. He wanted that trolling motor.
Still does.
Yes, it does. Fire it up.
Yeah, we were starting out, and I expected to catch trout. So we're drifting, you know, along a flat and some different drop-offs. And Brandon had said, hey, this is an area that he had fished in the past, and actually won a couple tournaments from that area. So I'm in my mind ready to catch a big gator trout. And lo and behold, I hooked I think it was the first fish of the day, and it was a really nice upper slot red. Super bronze, really pretty fish. So I was pretty stoked about that and knew it was going to be a good day from there.
That's the awesome thing about this place. You catch a nice 22 inch trout, and then a few casts later.
Yeah, I was expecting the trout, and then he turned on it. I saw that flash, and that gold color.
Man, that hook gets good.
Yeah. Like I said, that thing has great action.
It does.
You know, with that swiveling head.
Beautiful fish.
There it goes.
That was not what we wanted to do.
So apparently you have the right tools in your toolbox here with your Daiwa TD Soul rods, because we got on that redfish pretty quick, and I don't know about your release, but you know, I think that's like 2-0 so far. So
I got to get you worked up a little bit. See, the more I run my mouth, the more fish you'll catch. So at the beginning of the day, I kind of had an idea that we were going to fish some deeper troughs for trout, and there was mixed in redfish with them, but we were trying to catch a big gator trout. And I ended up seeing that wasn't really working out too well, and I ended up moving up on the rocks to catch our redfish. I left the trout spot a little bit early, so we had to be patient with the redfish, and we just eased up in there and we started seeing some fish blow off, and we sat there for about another 30 minutes, and when it got right, we pushed up in there and it was game on. I had a feeling that was gonna happen, but it worked out exactly how we planned.
little
rat.
That's what I have.
Not always the jumbos. Pretty little fish.
So Brandon, we've been bouncing around a little bit today. What are you thinking going forward?
The tide's coming up now, and we're starting to see, if you just look out there, there's a bunch of mullets starting to jump,
Yeah.
which is a good sign. They're just kind of easing up in here. We're just having to be patient with them. But as we move into the afternoon here, I think we're gonna have a really good bite with that higher tide. That's kind of what I've been waiting for all day. So hopefully things will pan out.
Will those fish come out of the grass, or are they up
Yeah,
in the
they're
grass?
just gonna work right out here, all out here in front of us. We have a bunch of rocks and potholes, and they'll kind of just ease up into these rocks and potholes, and that's where they'll kind of feed on that higher tide, looking for crabs or shrimp or whatever they're looking for.
What are you throwing on that?
I'm throwing a gold spoon, 1/4 ounce. This is a copper actually, it's not a gold. And just able to cover a lot of ground with it, which is key when it's kind of windy like this and you can't really see them.
Yeah.
We're just covering a lot of water. Big. This is what Steinhatchee fishing's all about right here. I mean, that is a beautiful top slot red. Saw a couple spook off and he fell victim to that copper spoon. Beautiful fish. I don't know, I would say probably 15 to 18 years ago, a neighbor of mine was friends with John, and we met and fished together growing up. As a little boy, I knew him, and he's been in the fishing industry for a very long time, and kind of we've worked a relationship up through that as well, and it's really just taken off from there, and we've fished together quite a bit, and we do a lot of business together, so it's been good. Man, did you see the other fish? They were trying to freaking get the spoon out of this one's mouth.
Yeah, he was.
They could see that flash.
That's awesome.
Beautiful.
Hit it hard.
That's a top slider there. He's about 26 and a half, 27 incher, I would say.
Very nice.
Beautiful fish.
You were right. They came, we ran out, we had to come back,
Yep.
and boom, waited a little while, and they're here.
Just being patient with them. That's the biggest key to it.
Yeah.
I mean, some days you got to do it.
Yep. It's a good fish. Let's catch some more.
John and I like to joke around a lot. We give each other so much crap throughout the day, fishing or just in general. We give each other crap. We're on each other hard. It's always a competition with us, and it's always fun when you have that. I've been landing them. I can't even get a cast in. He's got me working.
I got him working on his day off.
Another nice fish, though.
Not like the same one, right?
Yeah.
Good looking fish.
Beautiful.
Well, I'll wait a little while and let you cast, I guess, huh?
Nice one. This is actually, I went up to this is a 1/2 ounce instead of a 1/4 ounce.
Yeah.
I think it's getting down and kind of making a little bit more contact with the bottom, and
That's exactly right.
that's the result right there.
Yeah.
Beautiful fish.
One after another. One after another.
Got one. They're out there, John. This thing feels big. It's an absolute stud. I slowed my retrieve down big time right there, just to where I have a lighter spoon on. I have a 1/4 ounce instead of the 1/2. So it's really made a difference to slow my retrieve down as much as I possibly can to make contact with that bottom. It's just digging into the bottom, and that's when they're eating it. So I've really had to, when it was shallower, I was a fast retrieve, and as it's got deeper here, I've slowed it down a lot, and it's made a big difference to get these fish to bite. So within the first few casts, John started catching a few fish and he started running his gator right then. He was on me. He was just, what is going on? You're supposed to be the captain, you're not catching the fish. I said, just wait, you're gonna run your mouth here at the beginning and I'm gonna come back strong in the end. And that's what I did. I ended up, I think he went up like 5-0 on me, and then I made a big strong comeback there on the end, catching some big ones. But we had a lot of doubles. At the end of the day, we ended up losing count, but he was definitely getting on me hard there at the beginning of the day. What a beautiful fish. I mean, that is definitely probably an over or a really close to top slot fish. That's what we're really looking for, these big redfish. Whew. He's lit up too, you can see that color. He's real bright, that means they're feeding. And he sure as heck ate that spoon. Whew. That is a blast right there. So Steinhatchee is kind of a different fishery. Big open grass flats. You're not really beating the bank or fishing in the creeks. You're fishing the open flats. We were really power fishing until we found the school. We were throwing moving baits, we were fishing fast, and we were just covering a lot of ground. We would drift, pull up our anchor, drift, pull up our anchor, drift, and it was just, like I said, we were throwing a lot of moving baits. It was fast fishing, but we had a slow presentation, if you know what I mean. We were moving fast, but we were trying to keep our presentation as slow as possible because we really wanted to be making contact with our baits on the bottom. So that was a big key, but we were covering a lot of ground until we found that big school.
Double up.
I know, we need to drop the anchor and I can't get back over there to do it. Came off, that's fine. Drop the anchor, we good. Rethrow again. They're out there thick. They were following mine too. Beautiful fish. Big old blue tail on them.
Oh, there's, yeah. Yeah, he does have the blue tail.
Oh, look at that.
Yes,
got him
sir.
on. Whew. Beautiful fish.
And there's another one. I saw his blue tail from way back here. Yeah, they're
Nice.
another good fish. He ain't figured out that he's hooked yet. Oh, and there it goes. What happens? There it goes, there he goes.
Every cast right out there. Every single cast. That is what I'm talking about. Right in the middle of mass chaos, we're doubling up every single cast. John misses like 3 in a row, and I'm in my mind, I'm thinking, I don't know if it's his hook set or the way he's fighting it or what. And finally, I just looked at him and I said, John, you need to check your hook or figure something out. You got something going on. Pulls in his spoon, half of his hook completely gone. He'd been fishing with it for like 20 minutes like that, just losing one after another. I'm like, oh my goodness, we could have had easily 6 more doubles if he would have checked his spoon a little bit sooner.
There he is.
There we go, baby. Woohoo!
Doubled up.
Look at all of them.
Look at him. Holy mackerel.
Oh, yeah.
Popped off again.
You need to check your hook picture and
Yeah, yeah. Oh, now we know why.
No.
Yes, sir. No hook to catch him with.
I would hurry up and get one out of the box right there. And then there, if you open that Yeti, they're right in the top. There should be a spoon and spinnerbait box. The spoon was really key to our success today. We went to a 1/2 ounce spoon so we could really make contact with the bottom. It would trigger that bite. And once you found the school, you can keep hitting them, but when they moved, we had to really fan cast out and then start fishing again, and we would find them, and that was the key to it.
Take it out.
Whew. Beautiful fish. Drumming like crazy. That is fun right there. Got him on.
There he is.
They're right there to the left a little bit. They moved about, I don't know, I would say 20 yards left.
Brandon's on another one.
We're hooked up.
Beautiful fish. He's choked this thing down. He was hungry.
Look at he's just got him double, baby.
I saw him underneath me. That was awesome. They're all right. Look at like 6 of them right there.
Mine came out. No, he didn't. Look, come on. Oh my God. Right there. Really good. This is chaos, guys. Every time we hook one, there's 15 or 20 big followers. It's absolutely incredible. Smile, come on now. Dude, it was mass chaos. There were so many fish. You hooked up and then it was instant. And there was, mine came off and there was 4 or 5 others trying to eat it. And they're
Going after your spoon. The spoon was getting ping-ponged back and forth between them.
I don't know about you, that gets my heart racing.
Oh, absolutely, man. That is awesome. And they were all quality fish.
We've been catching a lot of uppers, but a couple of those fish that I saw there were easily in the 30 class.
Oh, yeah.
Class range. And they were big fish.
Absolutely. That was exciting.
So on today's episode of Local Lines TV, we really used 2 baits all day long. Our number 1 was the Aqua Dream spoon in the copper and gold color. We were using a 1/4 and a 1/2 ounce spoon. As the tide came up, we went to the little bit bigger spoon, and that was a big key to our success. You really had to have that spoon making contact with the bottom. I also rig them up with a swivel on the top just so you don't get the twist in your line. I was throwing 20-pound diamond presentation fluorocarbon and 15-pound diamond braid. We were throwing them on TD Soul, medium heavy 7/6 rods made by Daiwa. We went with a little bit heavier rod because we were hooking some big fish. Those 30-inch fish on a 7/6 medium heavy are just, it was a little bit too much for that rod, so we bumped it up to the little bit heavier rod. Our other key, once we ran out of spoons, because we broke through a lot of them, broke a lot of hooks and things like that, was the Bullseye Spinnerbait by Z-Man, paired up with the Z-Minnow in Houdini color. This is an 1/8 ounce, and like I said, the slow retrieve making contact with the bottom was a huge key to success today on the water. Steinhatchee is a really quiet town, basically all the way from Crystal River and Yankeetown all the way up to Panama City, Destin area is really quiet. It is true old Florida. It's not developed. It's a place I love to go. Steinhatchee has 1 grocery store in the whole town, not 1 red light. It's just a place that I love to be. I don't like the city crowds. It's an awesome place to go fish or even just relax for a weekend and visit. Guys, this is what Steinhatchee really has to offer here. I mean, unbelievable trout fishing, great red fishing as you can see here. It's at times doubles, triples. It is mass chaos, and a bunch of times this year when I've been up here, it's like this. And even growing up as a little kid, I did a lot of fishing up here, and the same areas have produced for the last 15 years. It's just an awesome fishery, and I'm glad to be able to fish out here, that's for sure. This might be a decent one here. Got a little good head shake to him there. Whew. It is on fire.
Right. There he is.
Every single time,
Look at,
baby.
You see all them just take off? Holy cow. That one's staying on.
And that's our 5th or 6th double right there that we, I mean, it's just game on right now. It was a phenomenal day of fishing. We ended the day on a double. and we ended up calling it quits then. We really didn't want to, we had caught 20 or 30 and there was no need for us to sit there and catch 50 or 60. We kind of let the fish relax. If you really beat on those fish too hard, they'll get up and the whole school will move off to another area, and we didn't want to do that. We didn't want to put too many hooks in their mouths or hurt any of the fish in the process of catching them. So we caught what we needed and we got out of there. That is a way to end the day right there, buddy.
Right, that's right. Double it up.
We leave on a good note and head back to the hill and go get some dinner.
Absolutely.
Whew. What a fun day it has been.
Beautiful fish.
So many,
doubled up all day long.
I know, so many nice big bull reds. I mean, it took us a while to get on them, but once it happened, it happened.
Exactly like you said.
Yep.
Yep. Wait a little while. Wait on that good water to come in, and there they were.
Beautiful fish too.
Absolutely.
Well, there he goes. Whew. I'm so glad I got to go to Steinhatchee for this episode. I can't wait to get back. Hopefully in the near future, we'll be back up there pulling on a few redfish and trout.